You're listening to the Shigeaki podcast, where growing older means growing steadier, one mindful step at a time. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and today's episode continues a conversation we've been having with thousands of listeners over 60 about foods we assume are healthy until they're not. Now, we've already talked about garlic and ginger, and how even natural remedies can become harmful if used the wrong way. But there's one food that nearly every health magazine recipe, app, and grocery aisle labels as a superfood. It's creamy, it's green, and it's almost everywhere. I'm talking about avocado. But here's what most people don't know, especially those of us over 60, avocado is not always your friend.
In Japan, avocado is still considered new, not traditional, but I've seen its use rise sharply in the last 20 years, especially among younger people and, more recently, in older adults. They hear it's good for cholesterol or blood pressure or brain aging, and sometimes it is. But what I see in many of my patients is what I call blind belief. They take something healthy and overuse it. They don't consider time of day, how it's prepared, what it's combined with, or their own conditions. Then they wonder why their digestion is slow, why blood sugar is unstable, why joints ache, or why sleep gets worse.
Exactly. We forget that avocado is extremely dense. It's loaded with fats, calories, and compounds that can be beneficial or inflammatory. For a young athlete or someone doing keto, it might be great. But for an older adult with slow metabolism, sensitive digestion, or heart issues, it can be a hidden saboteur. And what makes it worse, it's how people eat it. Or, rather, how they misuse it.
Some add it to everything: smoothies, toast, salads, even desserts. Others eat half an avocado at 10 p.m., thinking it's healthy fat before bed. But the body does not process these things in isolation, and after 60, our digestive fire weakens. The body becomes more reactive. Small mistakes turn into long-term damage.
That's why today we're uncovering 6 avocado mistakes that I see all the time, even in the most health-conscious patients. Mistakes that lead to bloating, inflammation, liver stress, gallbladder overload, and even brain fog. But don't worry, we're not here to cancel avocado. We're here to help you enjoy it smarter. You'll learn what not to pair with avocado after 60, why some avocado oils on the shelf may be harming your heart, which time of day turns avocado into an energy killer, and how to eat avocado in a way that actually strengthens digestion, brain function, and nutrient absorption.
Before we begin, today's episode is packed. It's longer than usual, deeper than usual, and honestly, it might change the way you see one of the world's most healthy foods. So grab a tea, sit somewhere quiet, and stay with us till the end. You'll want to hear every word. And if you care about aging stronger and wiser, hit like, subscribe, and turn on that bell so you never miss a new episode.
Let's begin with the first and possibly most overlooked mistake: eating avocado too close to bedtime. Now, I know what many people are thinking. Avocado is healthy fat. Isn't that calming, or isn't fat supposed to help stabilize blood sugar overnight? In theory, yes. But the body after 60 doesn't operate the way it did at 30, especially when it comes to fat metabolism and nighttime digestion.
In Japan, we speak often of the body's internal fire, shoka no hai, or the digestive flame. By the evening, that fire becomes weak. Our body prepares to shut down systems to restore, and the liver, which plays a central role in breaking down fat, moves into a detox rhythm rather than digestion. Eating avocado at this time, even a few slices, can be too much, especially if you pair it with other rich foods, or if the rest of your meals were already high in fat.
Exactly. A study in clinical nutrition found that older adults who consume meals with over 30 grams of fat after 6 p.m. experienced more frequent nocturnal awakenings and poorer sleep efficiency, likely due to delayed gastric emptying and nighttime reflux. Avocado, while nutrient-dense, is also lipid-dense. One whole avocado contains around 21 grams of fat. Even half an avocado still delivers more fat than many people need before bed. And here's the kicker. It's not just about the fat itself. It's about how fat slows the digestive process. It keeps the stomach full longer. It demands more energy to process. And in older adults where motility is slower, that creates a traffic jam in the gut just as the body is trying to power down.
When the digestive system remains active, it prevents the nervous system from switching to parasympathetic mode, the rest and repair phase. Instead, the body stays slightly alert. Blood flow stays in the abdomen. The heart rate doesn't drop. Core temperature remains elevated, and sleep becomes light interrupted or difficult to reach at all. Many of my patients report I fall asleep, but then wake up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., and I'm wide awake. I always ask them, "What was your last meal?" More often than not, it was something like chicken and avocado, or a smoothie with almond milk, nut butter, and yes, avocado.
It's subtle, but cumulative. The person doesn't connect the dots right away, especially because avocado feels light, unlike red meat or fried food. But it behaves differently inside the body. And let's not forget it's not just digestion. It's also bile production, gallbladder strain, and in some cases, insulin response. Older adults with sluggish bile flow may feel bloated or nauseous hours after eating avocado, even if the symptoms only appear after they lie down.
One of the worst habits I've seen is people eating avocado toast at 8 or 9 p.m. They believe it's a light dinner, but for someone over 60 with low stomach acid and slow gallbladder function, this becomes a heavy burden right when the body needs to rest. Even worse, many eat avocado late with bread cheese or wine. That combination is a recipe for nighttime disruption acid, with fat create reflux risk. Dairy with avocado create poor fat absorption. Alcohol with avocado create liver overload.
So here's what we recommend instead. If you enjoy avocado, have it at breakfast or lunch. That's when your body's digestive fire is strongest. It can make use of the healthy fats to support hormone function, satiety, and brain energy. Pair it with light protein like egg salmon or tofu. Add some leafy greens or tomato for fiber and antioxidants. And keep your portion moderate, about 1/3 to a half of a medium avocado.
And in the evening, switch to lighter fats like a teaspoon of olive oil in steamed vegetables, or fermented foods that aid digestion, not burden it. I often suggest a warm barley tea after dinner in Japan. This is mujicha. It helps calm the stomach and supports hydration without interfering with sleep.
Avocado is not the villain, but if you eat it too late too often or in the wrong combinations, it silently becomes one. Just because something is healthy doesn't mean it's harmless at all times of day. So, let your meals match your body's rhythm. Morning and midday are your windows for dense nourishment. Evenings are for gentle grounding support.
That's the rhythm of longevity. Let's move to the next common mistake, and this one is all about combinations.
Now, let's talk about the second mistake, combining avocado with the wrong foods. Avocado is a versatile ingredient. It blends with everything from toast and eggs to smoothies, tacos, and even desserts. But after 60, your digestive system doesn't have the same tolerance for food mixing that it did decades earlier. What used to feel fine now leads to bloating, sluggishness, or worse, hidden inflammation.
In traditional Japanese practice, we place great care on food pairings. We believe each ingredient has a temperature and energy and a rhythm. Mixing foods with opposing characteristics, cold and hot, heavy, and light, acidic and alkaline, can confuse the body. With avocado, this confusion often starts with two common pairings: dairy and refined starches. Let's begin with cheese. Avocado and cheese may taste creamy together, but they burden digestion. They're both fat-rich, yet one is plant-based and the other animal-based. For seniors, this dual fat combo taxes the gallbladder and slows gastric emptying. It's not uncommon to feel overly full or experience reflux after such meals.
Exactly. And here's another one. Avocado with white toast. That's practically a breakfast trend in the West: avocado toast on white sourdough, maybe with a fried egg on top. But white bread spikes your glucose, then the fat in avocado slows insulin response. That roller coaster effect is particularly dangerous for seniors with borderline blood sugar issues. One study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that older adults who consumed refined carbohydrates with high-fat toppings had greater glycemic variability, which is linked to fatigue, brain fog, and long-term cardiovascular risk.
And there's also the timing mismatch. Bread digests fast. Avocado digests slow. When fast and slow foods are eaten together, the body prioritizes the faster one first, causing the slower one, in this case, avocado, to ferment or linger in the gut. This leads to bloating, gas, and in some people, low-grade inflammation in the intestines.
Let's also talk about fruit pairings. A lot of health smoothies these days mix avocado with banana mango or even pineapple. On paper, that looks nutritious. But again, you've got dense fat meeting fast fruit sugars. And after 60, your pancreas and liver don't buffer sugar spikes the way they used to. For someone with mild insulin resistance or non-alcoholic fatty liver, this combo might quietly worsen metabolic health.
I've had patients who began their mornings with avocado banana smoothies. They thought they were being healthy, but within an hour they reported feeling sleepy, unfocused, or even nauseous. It wasn't until they removed either the avocado or the fruit that their energy stabilized. In Japan, we rarely mix fruits and fats in the same meal. Fruits are eaten alone or at the end of a light lunch, never with rich items. This honors the digestive sequence: light foods first, heavier ones later.
The same principle applies to meats. Grilled chicken and avocado or salmon and avocado sushi rolls sounds healthy, right? But that's two rich protein fat sources combined. For seniors with slow digestion or gallbladder concerns, this combination can overload the system. You might not feel it immediately, but over time, your body becomes more sluggish in how it processes nutrients. And let's not forget condiments. Avocado paired with store-bought dressings, especially ones with canola oil, sugar, and preservatives, turns a superfood into a stressor.
The same applies to spicy or acidic foods. Many seniors love guacamole with salsa or hot sauce, but the acid in tomatoes and the spice from peppers can irritate aging stomach linings, especially when mixed with the richness of avocado. For someone with gastritis or reflux, this combination feels like fire.
So, how do we pair avocado the right way? First, simplify. If you're going to eat avocado, make it the star, not part of a crowded plate. Try it with cucumber steamed greens or a soft-boiled egg. Choose complex carbs like quinoa or whole grain crackers, which buffer the fat without spiking blood sugar.
And eat it when your digestion is strongest, midday or morning. In my home, we often serve avocado with miso, fermented vegetables, and lightly boiled fish. The flavors support each other and the digestive burden remains low.
One of my favorite combinations is avocado lemon juice, hemp seeds, and a sprinkle of sea salt eaten with roasted sweet potatoes. It's nourishing, balanced, and stabilizes blood sugar beautifully. It's all about intention. You don't have to stop eating avocado. You just have to stop mixing it mindlessly.
When you treat each food with respect, not just for its taste, but for its effect on the body, your meals become medicine. Let's now turn to a hidden danger that's less about mixing and more about the avocado itself.
Let's move on to the third mistake, and this one surprises a lot of people. It's not about eating avocado itself. It's about the oil. Avocado oil is marketed as a heart-healthy, brain-friendly, anti-inflammatory super oil. And in its pure form, that's absolutely true. But what many don't realize is that most of the avocado oil sold in the US is either rancid, oxidized, or adulterated with cheaper oils. That means instead of healing your body, it could be silently harming it.
Yes, in Japan we are very cautious with oils. Even healthy oils like sesame olive or avocado become dangerous when they are exposed to too much light heat or air. I often remind my patients the same oil that protects your cells when fresh can destroy them when spoiled.
Exactly. A 2020 study published in Food Control tested 22 avocado oil brands sold in the U.S. market. Shockingly, over 80% were either oxidized before the expiration date or mixed with other oils like soybean or sunflower. Some didn't even contain real avocado oil at all. This is especially dangerous for people over 60. Oxidized oils increase LDL oxidation, contribute to arterial stiffness, and may worsen memory decline by promoting neuroinflammation.
Many people over 60 already have underlying oxidative stress. Their bodies are less efficient at clearing damaged fats. So adding oxidized oil daily, even a small amount, is like pouring fuel on a slow fire. The damage is quiet but cumulative.
Now, how do you know if your avocado oil is safe? First, look at the bottle. If it's in a clear plastic container, sitting under grocery store lights, that's a red flag. Avocado oil should be stored in dark glass bottles, away from light and heat. Second, smell it. Fresh avocado oil has a neutral or grassy scent. If it smells like Play-Doh fish or bitter nuts, it's likely gone bad.
I also advise checking the label. Look for the words cold-pressed extra virgin and unrefined. These oils are less likely to be damaged by heat during production. And always look for a harvest or expiration date, not just a best-by date.
Let's also talk about cooking. Many people use avocado oil for high-heat frying because it has a high smoke point. That's true, but only if the oil is fresh and pure. Once oxidized, its smoke point lowers dramatically. And when it burns, it releases harmful compounds like aldehydes, which are toxic to brain and liver cells.
In our kitchens, we rarely fry with avocado oil. We prefer to use it cold, drizzled over steamed vegetables or mixed into dressings. If you must cook with it, do so gently, low to medium heat. Never let it smoke.
Here's a tip I give my older patients: buy small bottles. Store them in the refrigerator, and finish them quickly within 30 days of opening. This reduces the chance of oxidation over time.
I agree. And if in doubt, don't use it. There are other healthy fats for cooking like ghee or coconut oil that are more stable for heat. Avocado oil is precious, but only if it's handled like medicine, not margarine.
We've talked about when and how to eat avocado, and even what kind of oil to avoid. But there's one mistake I see almost every week in my clinic, and it's simple. People are eating too much avocado. Now, I know it sounds strange. Avocados are healthy, right? They're full of fiber, monounsaturated fats, potassium. Why would too much be a problem? Because like all fats, even the good ones, they're calorie-dense and hormonally active. One avocado has about 250 to 300 calories and over 20 grams of fat. For someone over 60 with a slower metabolism and reduced muscle mass, that's a big load, especially if it's added on top of other meals.
In Japan, we do not eat whole avocados. We slice them thinly, serve only 1 or 2 slices with a meal, much like a garnish, not a main dish. It's not about restriction, it's about balance. The older body cannot process fat the same way a 25-year-old athlete does. Too much fat, even healthy fat, slows digestion. It burdens the gallbladder, liver, and pancreas. I've seen elderly patients with bloating, acid reflux, or gallstone flare-ups, all because of overeating avocados in smoothies or sandwiches every day.
And when you combine that with other rich foods, eggs, cheese, olive oil, nuts, the fat overload becomes real. Now, the fat in avocado isn't bad, but it needs to be in the right context. For someone over 60 who isn't active, even 1 avocado a day can tip the scales on fat metabolism, lead to elevated triglycerides, and make insulin resistance worse, especially if paired with high-carb foods.
That's a very good point. In Japanese tradition, when we prepare high-fat foods, we always pair them with astringent vegetables like radish, seaweed, or pickled greens to support digestion. We also chew, slowly eat in silence, and never rush fat digestion.
Now, let's talk about the second half of the problem, where your avocado comes from. Mistake 5 is eating avocados from the wrong source. And this matters more than most people realize. Many avocados, especially from large commercial farms, are sprayed with pesticides or grown in nutrient-depleted soil. Some are stored for weeks in cold warehouses before being ripened with gas. And unfortunately, avocados are on the USDA's watch list for hidden contamination, even if they don't make the dirty dozen. The peel may protect the fruit inside, but once it's cut, contamination from the knife can transfer to the flesh.
Yes, in Japan, we always wash the skin of any fruit, even those we do not eat the peel of. But more than washing it is the energy of the soil that matters. Avocados grown in poor soil have lower magnesium and potassium. I have seen this in blood tests from patients who ate avocados daily and still had mineral deficiencies.
It's not just about soil, but also freshness and ethics. In some countries, avocado farming is linked to deforestation and even violence. Supporting local small-scale or organic farms helps ensure better quality and peace of mind. Here's what I recommend to patients. Buy organic avocados if possible. Wash the skin thoroughly before cutting. Store properly. Avocados kept too long lose key nutrients. We've covered timing, quantity, and even source quality. But there's one more mistake that quietly causes issues for older adults, even when everything else seems perfect. That's eating avocado when your gut is already inflamed or imbalanced. Avocados are praised for their healthy fats and fiber, and rightly so. But if your gut lining is damaged or your microbiome is off balance, which is common after 60, then even the healthiest foods can trigger discomfort.
Yes, I agree. Many of my older patients would say, "Doctor, I only ate healthy food. Why do I still feel bloated or tired?" I often found they were eating foods that were difficult for their gut to process at that moment, especially rich or fibrous foods like avocado.
Let's talk about the science behind that. When your gut lining is inflamed due to antibiotic stress, poor diet, or aging, it becomes more permeable. This is what we call leaky gut. And when you eat foods that are dense in fat or fiber during this state, the undigested particles can seep through the gut wall, triggering your immune system. This can lead to gas and bloating, fatigue after meals, brain fog, joint pain, even skin flare-ups or autoimmune flares.
Yes, I tell my patients the gut is like a house under renovation. Do not bring in heavy furniture yet. Avocado, though nutritious, is a heavy food. It asks the gut to work. When your system is already struggling, it's like adding weight to a broken bridge.
Let's go through a few ways to safely reintroduce avocado when your gut is healing. Option 1, cooked or warmed avocado. Yes, it sounds strange to Americans, but lightly steaming or warming avocado with broth or spices makes it easier to digest. Try mashing half an avocado into a warm soup near the end of cooking. Option 2, pair it with gut-friendly herbs. Fresh mint, ginger, fennel, or parsley help ease digestion and reduce bloating. Try blending a small amount of avocado with cucumber and mint for a soft, cooling soup. Option 3, combine with fermented foods. A slice of avocado with kimchi or sauerkraut gives your body both prebiotics and probiotics, a powerful combo for healing the gut lining. Option 4, limit quantity and frequency. Don't eat avocado daily during gut repair. Start with once or twice a week and observe how you feel. Always chew slowly and avoid eating when stressed.
In traditional Japanese medicine, there is a phrase, "A strong gut builds a strong heart." That means the gut is central to everything: emotion, immunity, energy. We must treat it with deep respect. If your gut is still recovering, think of avocado like a luxury. Introduce it with mindfulness, not routine.
Well said. In functional medicine, we always say, heal the gut, and the rest follows. Avocados can be a healing food, but only when your digestive system is ready. To summarize today's sixth and final mistake, never eat avocado when your gut is inflamed, imbalanced, or under stress, or it could do more harm than good. And the fix: use small amounts. Cook it gently, pair it with gut-supportive herbs or ferments, and always listen to your body.
Because at 60 and beyond, our bodies speak softly but clearly. When something feels off, we must pause and reconsider, not push through.
Exactly. And that brings us to the end of our journey through these 6 dangerous avocado mistakes after 60. But don't go anywhere just yet. In the final segment, we'll leave you with one last message of encouragement and the safest ways to enjoy avocado from here on out. If you've made any of these avocado mistakes, don't worry. You're not alone. Most people over 60 were never taught that a healthy food could become harmful if eaten the wrong way. But now you know, and knowing is power. Avocados are still one of the most nutrient-dense foods out there when used with intention. It's not about cutting them out. It's about slowing down, listening to your body, and giving it what it truly needs.
In Japan, we say, "The wise eat with their ears." This means we listen to the body not just to taste, but to how the food makes us feel afterward. If the food leaves you tired, bloated, or uneasy, even if it's good, then it's not good for you in that moment. Avocados can be medicine or mistake, depending on timing, preparation, and your condition.
If this episode helped you rethink how you eat avocados, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a gentle but powerful tip for aging with strength, clarity, and joy. And let us know in the comments, which avocado habit are you planning to change first? Wine, one with some and words.